Hey everybody, so today just wanted to help some of you guys out there get up to speed with writing some SQL. We're going to use Google BigQuery here. If you sign up and you make an account, you may have to use a credit card, but you're not going to get charged anything. Um, for the most part, you get 1 terabyte a month of querying. We're going to be looking at a data set that has only 163 megs. So, we're not going to come anywhere near a terabyte. So take a second if you want to follow along, sign up. You may have to enter a credit card again, but you're not going to be charged anything. What we're going to be looking at is just spitballing a little bit and analyzing baby name data. Kind of a somewhat, not a whole lot of practical value, but I think it could still be interesting from a just various techniques and SQL strategies for analyzing data. So let's take a look at the data. So we have a state, gender, a year, a name, and the number of people who were registered with that name. And we have, a good amount of rows. If you look at the underlying data set, the number of applicants for a social security card by birth and sex. It's a good amount of people. Again, let's just look at the table and let's actually start thinking about what some questions we want to answer. So, what if we wanted to see for New York? Let's write it out so we don't forget. So, for New York, what's the most popular male by year? All right, so what are we going to have to do? First, you're going to have to just focus on New York, so just New York. We need the year, we need the name, we need the most popular. How do we do the most popular though? We're going to have to take the highest number, right? So let's just start writing some stuff. If you click here and go to query table, it'll get you going. So for instance, let me take select all for now. Where state equals New York. We'll just do limit 1000. Run the query. All right, so we're down to 1000 rows here since we included a limit clause. We're just looking at the state of New York. Let's do some ordering here. Order by. Well, we'll want to do year. And in SQL, ordering generally defaults to ascending. So let's just leave that as is, order by year. And then we're going to order by, let's be explicit, ASC, number, DESC. All right, so we'll run that. All right, so now within each year, we have the most popular names here going down. The year is going up, the number is going down. Let's just look at this. So let's get to, we're going to get to a different year in just this 1000. Yeah, okay. So that makes sense. So let's, what's another thing we need to do? We're just looking at males, right? So we can say and gender equals male. So let's run that. And you can see that it's processing megabytes each time you run the query. But keep in mind, you have a terabyte, 160 megs, 1 gig. You're not even going to come close, so it's all right. So now we're at a point here where we've got some kind of base for thinking about how to further hit the goal of how do I see the most popular male name by year in New York. All right, so what do we have to do? What are some ways we could do this? We want to get there are a lot of ways to do this actually, but let's just start writing some code here. So I'm going to use something called a row number, which is a window function, and it's going to allow us to create a ranking for this number. So let's just change the star to state, gender, year, name, number, and then we're going to do row number over partition by, and we're going to partition by name, order by number, descending, and let's just run it and see what happens. All right. So now we're doing a row number. I'm going to call that as a name rank. I'm going to give that a name. Okay, so what you see here is that this name rank, what is it actually doing? It doesn't make any sense just yet because we're partitioning by name. So you'll see that John in 1910 was the most popular name for that year, but it's only ranked 97. That's because we're partitioning by name, but not name and year. So if we change this, this should work. There we go. All right, so now we have name and year. That's not going to work because it's giving a unique rank to each case here. Let's just partition by year. So you see a lot of times when you use window functions like this, you don't, unless you're writing them, very frequently, sometimes you forget how the partition by or how the order by clause works. Not everybody gets it right the first time. Sometimes you have to fool around with it a little bit. But now you can see what we have here is something very good. We're looking at New York mails again, and we're looking to figure out the top name per year. So now we have this rank using row number, which is a window function, and it's picking out the top name based upon its number value, which is the number of people who registered as John. So let's just, let's look through it a little more. And you can see that, the name rank certainly changes here. So we have a lot of, within the window here of 1910, there are lots and lots of different ranks. There are lots of ties with the number. I'm not going to get into the minutia of how to deal with all that, but for just a second, let's say, what if I wanted to see all the rows where this is 1? We just wanted to see all the rows where the name rank is 1. And presumably, since we're partitioning by year, there are going to be at least one for each year, I hope. So let's just clean this up a little bit. Let's do something called this is called writing sort of ghetto SQL, but it's useful. So we're going to select everything from the query that we just wrote. We're going to alias it as T. You could call this zoo. You could call that, awesome. Don't confuse anything. Just call it T. We're going to see name rank equals 1. Let's just see what happens here. All right, very good. So now we have basically what we were trying to accomplish. So we have state, gender, year, and look at John. It's got, every year, John, Robert, very popular. Robert, very popular again. Michael, John, Jacob. Interesting. So yeah, essentially what you see here, we've gotten the top names for New York males. Let's take a quick look at female. Hasn't changed terribly over time. Not a lot of variation. It's my mom's name. Linda, Susan, Mary. What about the second most popular? What about the first and the second? We could do, I think. All right, yeah, so we got Mary Helen. So you could use your imagination and, figure out what else you could do just by modifying the where clause. So again, the technique I showed you here was just using row number which basically assigns some kind of an arbitrary ranking within the data that you're looking at. So to be clear, we wanted to say, well, for each year, and ordering by this number, which was the number of folks registered by that name, what was the rank? And then you can use an outer select and wrap your entire block in that, alias it as whatever. And again, I could call this zoo, and it would still work. It's nothing special about T. It's just a common. It's just a common way to do it. And there you have it. It's pretty straightforward. So see if you can think of any other ways to do this. Maybe you want to look at what's, in absolute terms, irrespective of state, what is the most popular name by year. You could do that readily from this. Maybe I'll do that next time. All right. Hope you enjoyed it.